Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to be talking to you this morning, to all my family, friends, loved ones, business associates, and everyone else that comes across this daily nugget, motivation. If you really love it, please don't forget to give us a love heart and maybe a thumbs up, just to encourage us to engage and to continue to do what we're doing. My daily nugget for today is really the element of tests. Tests. Um, Life is full of tests and trials. And what you have to know is that if you are not willing to face your tests and your trials, you will struggle to progress. Now, the reality of the matter with tests and trials in life is that most trials don't even come announced. Most tests don't even give us time for preparation. But these tests, let me tell you about them. They will reveal who you are, where you are, and what's inside of you. And it will also reveal what you're standing for. You know, we won't really know whether we truly love someone or someone truly loves us when everything is going perfectly well and all is good. The only time we really know whether that person loves us or we love that person is when we face a major obstacle or major trial. Then truly we see whether the person is in love or whether the person really loves us. Now, please remember here I'm not talking about someone who's in an abusive relationship and then sticks in this relationship to prove their love. No. There are boundaries with tests, and we have to understand those boundaries. And this is really the criticality of a test. A test is there to ensure that we have the ability to overcome them. And so we have to know that in this life, we are going to be faced with so many things and so many trials. But today, I want to encourage you to be a keen observer of the trials, to be a keen observer of the tests. Now, let me say this to you: the tests don't come announced. Don't take tests and trials at face value. Don't just take it like that. You have to ask, what is this test trying to do? What is it trying to do to me? What is it trying to teach me? What is it trying to bring out in me? Because when you're really a keen observer of this test, you'll start being able to deal it more maturely and more disciplinedly. Now, let me tell you this, just a personal story. For as long as I lived, I've never known what it means to harvest bitterness or anger in my heart until I faced the situation. Every time I saw this person, I wanted to ask God to deal with this person, and vengeance is the Lord's. But I realized there was something wrong. I acknowledged the feeling of resentment. I acknowledged the feeling of bitterness. And then I realized that I needed to deal with this feeling. And the way that I started dealing with this feeling was to start building respect for the person, also to acknowledge my journey of what I've come through. Even though the person had meant it for my harm, I could stand boldly and know that I've made it through. Now, let me say this to you. I still feel the scars every now and again, but the hurt and the discomfort is gone. Now, let me say this to you, that you ought to know that I am more convinced now that if I didn't deal that situation, I wouldn't have been prepared for my future. Every time a similar situation creeps up, I deal it like a pro. I constantly deal it like a pro. This is my conclusion to you. Your tests and your trials will prepare you for your future. Don't run away from it. Face it head on and know that you are going to be prepared for your future. Our fresh daily manna from heaven comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verses 17 to 19. Here it speaks about Abram, the father of faith, who believed God that he will have a child which he had waited for a long time. But in this portion of scripture, we see that Abram was asked to offer Isaac. Man, that's such a contradiction. Like Isaac is supposed to be a promise fulfilled, a promise that Abram had waited for so long. And yet God is asking Abram to offer Isaac. Amidst this contradiction, Abram believed God. He trusted God. Even if God had to bring Isaac back from the dead, Abram believed God. Now, let me say this to you. family, friends, loved ones, and everyone that listens to this, man. Abram passed one of the most significant tests in this life. And that is the test that says, the test that you and I are facing. It's a test that says, do you love the promises and the blessings of God more than you love God Himself? You see, many of us want the promises and the blessings of God, but when persecution and trials come, we hide away from it. I want to let you know that the trials and the tests that comes from God leads us to the promises of God. My call to action and reflection today is be a keen observer of when you're being tested, because tests don't always come announced. You also have to know, secondly, that tests are good for you. It will reveal where you are. It will be like an assessment to make sure that you understand what you're about. And then lastly, don't forget that test will prepare you for your future. I don't know what my health test was about, but this I'm certain that it's preparing me and has prepared me for my future. I know that you have enjoyed this. I know that you've been encouraged. Please don't forget to give us a love heart. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And please don't forget to share with your family, friends, loved ones, business associates, and just any one of your friends. Please check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Also check out our website, www.c3lifechanges.com. God bless you, ar.com. Out of here.